Hello everyone, Senshin Cosplay here with a new video. This week we started a new project and we are going to try and have an update once a week. Today I wanted to show the first part of this series, which is the foam build of the Armguard. Before I started building the Armguard I made a template. Normally I don't really make templates for armor and just draw most on the fly. But since we also would like others to be able to build cosplay more easily, I try to add a bit more structure to my process. So what I did first is trace the front of the Armguard. This is a good base pattern, but the top part of the armor is sloped upwards. So the template for that part has to be slightly adjusted. What you basically have to do is make the dotted lines longer. Notice that there's also some lines that are curved. Without the curves it would look more like a pyramid, which is not really what we want. The template for the other parts of the armor can be made in the same way. I will include this template in the description for anyone to use. Now that we have a template, we can start working on the foam. Now start by transferring the templates onto the foam and cutting out all the pieces. Don't forget to also cut out the front part of the Armguard base. This part will be glued on top of the base to make it slightly thicker. I made all parts out of 5mm foam, except for this one. This one is 10mm. The thickness doesn't matter that much for this build. You can use whatever you prefer. After cutting out all the parts, I Dremeled them. This is to make them smoother, but also to make them more symmetrical. Whenever you cut the same part twice, they usually don't turn out the same. The top of the 10mm part needs to be Dremeled into an angle. After you're done, it will look something like this. Next is making some small details into the foam. These red lines mean there has to be made a cut into the foam, either all the way through or just partly. First adjust the template and then transfer the cutout onto the foam. For the double lines, either cut all the way through or partly in a 45-degree angle. The single red lines have to be cut all the way through. Once you're done making all the cutouts, it's time to start gluing. The first thing we do is gluing the cutouts we just made. You can either use a hot glue gun or contact cement here. Since there is not much overlapping space, I chose to use hot glue. Now Dremel every piece that needs to be glued together with an angle. Most of the time 45 degrees is fine, but you might want another angle sometimes. Just make sure to check if it fits before you start gluing. When I glue these together I use contact cement, but I reinforce some of the backs with hot glue. This is just an extra, it's not really necessary. I added some bigger edges onto the smaller pyramid shape. This makes it look even better. Before putting it together, you can bend some pieces in the correct shape using a heat gun. The base needs a slight curve, so it fits better to your arm. The same goes for the long piece for the bottom part of the Armguard. Now that the most parts are finished, we can start putting the whole Armguard together. Here I cut the Armguard base into two parts, because I would like it to be slightly longer so it looks better. When gluing I mostly use contact glue first and then again reinforce the back with hot glue if I can. Here I make a cutout into the foam to glue the 10mm piece in. This will give it some extra contact area for gluing, and it will also look nicer in my opinion. Finish the build by adding straps of elastic band and velcro. This way it's easy to attach to your arm. You can do this in multiple ways, so I won't go into details with this. But here is some footage of what I did. Well, that's all for this video. Next time I will try to make ice crystals and add them into the build. I actually have no idea how to make those yet, so that will be fun. So make sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss that. But for now, see you all later.